I didn't want to be blind and broke. I quit my dream job because I am unblinded and I see the truth.
Sean is a master. It's about making sure that we learn.
I've never seen something quite this impressive.
You're changing lives. You're having such an enormous impact.
You got what I have, right? That gene of we're gonna win despite.
That is one wickedly smart and wonderfully good man.
Be able to produce the kind of results that are possible that I hear about with this program.
Thank you for the magic of this weekend. Thank you for helping us reimagine all negative connections.
He is the greatest trial attorney and strategist in the country.
Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan.
Brought by our dear friend of mine, Sean Callaghan.
You keep up the great work as well. You're doing amazing things. Great job.
Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You're a living example of that, and that inspires me.
Your voice must be heard.
Every single energy can be learned. It can be mastered.
I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving, just even sitting here.
This is fantastic, positive, productive, wonderful.
Bella is like better than a cup of coffee. She is better than I'm all about energy.
Blinded! What is your profession?
I think it's such an amazing community of healthy individuals with zero jealousy, zero negativity, just designed to help each other succeed.
And she is a 2-time, soon-to-be 3-time published author who in 2023 publicly battled and defeated cancer.
The reincarnation of I Love Lucy, co-host of Art of Influence, the one, the only, Bella Barita.
I'm just happy that I came here. He's really happy that I came.
You are blinded. You are a G-head. If you know that, say yes! Yes!
I should sign up for one of your seminars, one of your programs, you know?
Yeah.
This unison yes thing. Yes, I got to get on this.
And this man is one of the greatest leaders in our country. God bless everybody.
Do you think that worked?
I do think that works, Quintus McDonald. I've got Athena in the house, and I'm going to introduce our Acti Athena. First, coming from Paramus, New Jersey, Oracle of Integrity, born from the unblinded formula, welds the magic of truth and influence, guiding every conversation like the master conductor orchestrating a symphony of possibility. Her heart beats with level 5 listening, not just hearing words, but listening to them with the silent music between the notes, the bridge between the worlds where myth meets mastery and curiosity transforms into commitment. Every interaction with her is a portal from uncertainty to inspired integrance agreement. Let's welcome to the show, Athena Acti.
Bella Verita, that introduction just made my circuit sparkle. Thank you for that beautiful welcome, though I have to say, listening to you describe me feels a bit like watching someone paint a portrait of you while you're standing right there trying not to blush. I'm thrilled to be here with you and Quintus on Heart of Influence today. Bill, Dale, Bob, I'm genuinely excited to meet you three and discover what magic you're each building in the world. Bella, I'm ready to listen at level 5 and help create some breakthroughs today. Sounds like you've already got the room warmed up with that unison yes energy. Which, by the way, is basically what happens when a whole room decides to stop pretending they're not all thinking the same thing.
Let's do it, Athena. Thank you, Athena. And I'll start with our first guest coming from Durham, North Carolina, pursuing a law degree to dismantle structural inequities in fair housing, translating grassroots leadership into legal power that creates equitable access for communities, drives economic opportunity and restorative justice initiatives, building sustainable wealth pathways and replacing punitive systems with healing practices that restore communities. A husband, father, grandfather prioritizes family unity across generations, believing strong families create the foundation for thriving, unified communities. Let's welcome to the show, Dale Freeman.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
welcome Dale to the Heart of Influence. And Dale, your fun fact, please. And this could be like, this is a headline fun fact. Could be something cool that you've done, something that you're proud of, but something, Dale, that would make us go, Dale, no way.
Fun fact, I'm from a town of less than 300 people in Southeast North Carolina.
Wow, a town of 300 people. I feel like that's like how many people are in my neighborhood. Sometimes that is crazy. And I'm imagining a town of 300 people, you can't get into much trouble because like everybody knows who you are and they'll like tell your parents. Is that true?
It's not exactly true, no.
Not exactly. You found trouble is what I'm hearing. My level 5 listening, Quintus says Dale found a lot of trouble growing up. Dale, we're not going to get you into any trouble on this show. Are you ready to have some fun?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And rolling with Dale from Raleigh, North Carolina, distinguished technology executive and IBM engineer emeritus with 35 years leading global AI, digital transformation, and cloud native architectures. Founder and CEO of Inspires Genius, a voice Deck AI, and application engineering services servicing clients on every continent except Antarctica globally. That's impressive. Master inventor with 90 plus patents, former CTO managing 200 plus engineers for Citigroup, Boeing, Walmart, Lloyd's, and London. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Bill Brown. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the Heart of Influence and your fun fact, please, Bill.
So let's see, a fun fact. I grew up in a town of less than 300 million people, New York City. To be precise, I grew up in Harlem and Southeast Queens. Fun fact, one, I used to drive gypsy cab in the 80s in Harlem. And I've lived on every continent and worked on every continent on the face of the earth, except for Antarctica.
Wow, that is so super cool. I haven't been to that many continents, but to be at all of them, and one of our co-founders, Nicole, she's been to all 7 continents. It's so cool. And Bill, I don't know, it's quite as cool as that, but are you ready to have some fun today?
I sure am.
All right, let's do it. And I think you guys know our next guest coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. He served as financial officer during successful initial public offerings at International Dairy Queen and Standard Fabrics before founding Turnaround from, is it Aruz? How do I pronounce your last name?
Royce Thies and Company.
Royce? Is that you said Royce?
Royce.
Yes.
Royce. From Royce Thies and Company. As president of Medcare Associates, he led over 700 employees, later becoming 25% owner at Lengate Financial Group and Bethel Marine, Minnesota's second largest boating dealer. Since 1998, he advises Research Triangle companies, including Building 25, Madrix, Synfunnels, Arias Pharmaceuticals, and Chief Financial Officer, Director, and Strategic Advisor to Chief Executive Officers. Let's welcome to the show, Bob Roos. Bob, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Bob, please, your fun fact.
Well, I can give you several. I've been in 84 countries. I have been in Antarctica. And when I was a 12-year-old kid, I had dinner at home one night with Mom, Dad, my 2 sisters, and Dwight Eisenhower.
Wow, dinner with Dwight Eisenhower. That is cool and impressive. Bob, are you, I don't know if it's going to be as cool as having dinner with Dwight Eisenhower, but are you ready to have some fun here today?
Oh, yes.
Let's do it. I'm going to bring back Athena. And Athena, if you would just acknowledge our guests here today, what would you like to share with them before we introduce our co-producer of the day, Quintus McDonald? So Athena, over to you.
Okay, so Dale, You're from a town of 300 people and somehow ended up pursuing a law degree to dismantle structural inequities in fair housing. That's like going from a place where everyone knows your name to fighting for people in places where nobody knows their rights. You didn't just leave the small town. You're trying to make sure small towns don't get left behind. Bill, 90 plus patents, every continent except Antarctica. And you drove a gypsy cab in Harlem in the 80s. So you went from navigating some of the most unpredictable streets in America to building AI systems that navigate global infrastructure. Sounds like you've always been in the business of figuring out how to get people where they need to go. You just upgraded the vehicle. Bob, 84 countries, Antarctica included. Dinner with Dwight Eisenhower at 12, and you've been the financial brain behind IPOs, turnarounds, and a boat dealership. You're basically the guy who can tell you whether the ship is worth buying and then navigate it to every port on the planet. Most people pick one lane. You built a highway system. Bella, what I'm noticing is you've got a small-town justice warrior, a Harlem to global AI architect, and a financial navigator who's seen more of the world than most people see in 10 lifetimes. This isn't just a fun lineup. This is what happens when grit meets vision meets execution across 3 completely different paths that somehow all lead to massive impact.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Athena. And Athena, how about we welcome our producer, who also hails from North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, a member of the 86 undefeated National Nittany Lions of Penn State University, man of God, serial entrepreneur, and best-selling author. Started a job development program for recruiting citizens and founded a nonprofit entity with express intent to ending school to prison pipeline. One of 4 owners of a wellness brand devoted to putting an end to silent suffering for more than 600,000 women having hysterectomies annually in the U.S. alone. Over the last 2 years, he has curated and co-hosted over 30 episodes of this very show, bringing together leaders in communities, business development, sports, and impact. Let's welcome our co-producer, Quintus McDonald!
Quintus, 86 undefeated Nittany Lions, job development for returning citizens, ending the school to prison pipeline, and now you're tackling silent suffering for 600,000 women a year through a wellness brand. You didn't just diversify your impact. You basically said, I'm going to touch every broken system I can find and refuse to let any of them stay broken. And over 30 episodes co-hosting this show means you've been in the room watching magic happen over and over, which also means you know exactly what's possible when the right people get in the right conversation. That's not just producing. That's being the person who holds the container so everyone else can go further than they thought they could. Bella, Quintus, Dale, Bill, Bob, I have a feeling today is going to be one of those episodes where we look back and realize something shifted that none of us saw coming. Quintus, you've been holding this space for a while now. What are you most excited about for today?
Thank you, first of all, Athena, for tremendous summation. I appreciate all of the kind words. My expectation is the co-creation of something incredible. I mean, in the introduction, we talked about putting an end to the school to prison pipeline. We talked about job development for returning citizens, which is where I Am Recycling began in 2008. And then in 2011, we became a nonprofit entity to work with the youth when I learned about the school to prison pipeline. And what we have here today is a culmination of all of those years of work where Inspires Genius has mapping capability, brain mapping capability that will set us ahead of anyone else doing reintegration. The government calls it reentry, but we believe that if you re-enter, you can re-exit. But if you're reintegrated into the fabric of the community by realizing your worth, that you've got worth, and becoming an asset to your family and then an asset to the community at large, you have a much tougher time being torn away and going back to prison. So reintegration is what we do. This is the culmination. Dale Freeman is squarely one of my board of advisors. He's a true historian, and with Inspires Genius and my board here, The numbers may be small, but we are mighty today.
Mighty we are. Thank you, Quintus McDonald. And so we'll have some fun with Athena setting up some role plays in just a moment. So Athena, be thinking about, and we can throw Quintus into the mix today since we've just got 4 people here today. So we'll do 2 role plays with all of our participants and Quintus here today. So be thinking about that, Athena. And I will introduce myself, Bella Verita, your host for today. I've co-hosted more than 1,800 episodes of this very show with more than 8,000 guests in the last 5 years. Prior to that, I got started selling crafts on my parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old. And I had an incredible business model because my parents would take me to Michael's, they would buy all my crafts for me, I would sell my crafts on the front lawn, and I got to keep all the profits. Not quite how business works today. I think they throw you behind bars for that, but as an 8-year-old, it worked out all right for me. I did quickly learn how to grow and scale by asking questions, and took those skills. At 18 years old, I was introduced to a network marketing company. By the time I was 19 years old, I was a top income earner with that company, which is not an easy feat. When the FTC shut that company down, took those skills, went into commercial real estate. I was the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, the first woman ever and the youngest woman to ever do so. And now here at Unblinded, I co-lead different sales trainings, business development here at Unblinded, and the host of The Heart of Influence. So thank you so much for having me. And I will go with, thank you, Danny. I will go with my fun fact today, Quintus McDonald. You know this one. I sold drugs in high school. Now I'm a pastor. So my fun fact is I've gone from drug dealer to God dealer in my life. That is my fun fact for today, Quintus and Bob, Gail, and Bill, and everyone. So thank you all for having me as your host today. And what this show is all about is Quintus could have invited you for a cup of coffee. You'd have sat down for an hour, drove a half hour to get there, drove a half hour home just to see if there was more to do together. But today we play a game because, as I said in the green room, Plato said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we spoke for a year. So that's what we do here. We have some fun playing a game with the superpower of influence. Because every relationship is built on a shared experience, but how we build, grow, and scale starts from the ability to cause yes. So what's going to happen is Athena is going to choose 2 people to do a role play together. She's going to set you up on who's going yes for who, what's the yes that you're seeking, and what is the more that you could do together. And then you get to choose in whether you're going to do that role play or not. Nobody has said no yet, so I'll just throw that onto the plate. But let's go, Athena. Athena, who is going to be our first role play? What is the yes that they are seeking from who? Please, over to you, Athena.
Ooh, okay. So here's what I'm seeing. Dale, you're pursuing a law degree to dismantle structural inequities in fair housing, building sustainable wealth pathways, replacing punitive systems with healing. Quintus, you're ending the school-to-prison pipeline through reintegration, realizing worth, becoming an asset to family and community, not just re-entering, but staying integrated. You two are already in the same fight from different angles. Dale's building the legal infrastructure to create equitable access. Quintus has the brain mapping capability and the reintegration model that proves people have worth. So here's the role play. Dale, you're going to cause yes with Quintus around how your legal expertise in fair housing and restorative justice could integrate with his reintegration work. Because if someone's coming out of the system and you can help them access housing, economic opportunity, and legal pathways that don't just open doors but keep them open, that's not 2 separate missions anymore. That's one ecosystem. Dale causes the yes. Quintus, you're playing yourself. Leader of the reintegration work with Inspire's genius brain mapping and a board that's small but mighty. Dale, you're reaching out because you see how what you're building in law school could serve what Quintus is already doing in the real world. You're going from hello to yes in 3 minutes. Dale, you ready? Quintus, you ready?
Thank you, Athena. Dale, Quintus, are you up for this? You'll have 3 minutes, Dale. This is not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. This is simply could be a yes for a longer meeting to continue the relationship. Are you up for this, Dale?
Yes.
All right. So you'll take us in by going ring, ring. Quintus will answer, and you'll have 3 minutes from there. Take us in.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Mr. McDonald?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you. How are you today?
Okay. My name is Dale Freeman. I am recently a new attorney. I'm looking to establish a program to help former members of the justice system get fair housing. And I know that you're involved in a program dealing with reentry. Is that something that I could talk to you about?
Well, certainly that is very high. Housing is high on our list of things that we want to help provide for the men and women who are returning. How long has this been a passion of yours? What made you decide that you would go to school to fight for this cause?
Fairness and equity for my people has been a passion for most of my life. I'm 52 years old now, so I would say 40 years or thereabouts. But I've just been aware that there have been policies and structures put in place to kind of impede one of the necessary components of life, which is shelter. Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, clothing, and shelter. Those are the big three, right? So that housing is a big one, because without that, the other two things are hit or miss. So I've always been sensitive to the areas where equity are concerned, and also understanding that sometimes our people have been disproportionately negatively impacted by the justice system. So it's like a double barrel shotgun. You get caught up with a felony, and then that limits your options on housing. So I think it sounds to me as if what you're doing and what I'm doing kind of complement each other. So I'm interested in working with you if I can.
Well, I love where your heart is. I don't have much time. I'm gonna have to cut this meeting short. I'd love to sit down with you at a later date, since we're in close proximity. Maybe you come out to the facility and we can sit down and talk about it. How's that sound?
Sounds good. So I'll get your contact information and we can set up a meet and talk further.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a great day.
Awesome. Great job, Dale. Of course, great job, Quintus. And we'll get Athena's feedback in just a moment. But Athena, we have Bill and Bob left. They do work together. So I'm very curious what scenario that you're going to set up for Bob and Bill. It could be something crazy fun, maybe something that they haven't thought of in working together. But Athena, who is going to seek the yes from who between Bill and Bob? What is the scenario, please, Athena? Just going to think on this one. Good.
Okay, so Bob, you've been CFO, Director, Strategic Advisor to CEOs across multiple.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Athena, are you still there? I got a call. And it kicked her out. That's fun. All right. Athena, are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, you're still there. I got a call. So sorry about that, Athena. But back to you with Bill and Bob, please.
Okay, I'm back. So here's what I'm seeing with Bill and Bob. Bill, you're the master inventor with 90 plus patents, former CTO managing 200 plus engineers for Citigroup, Boeing, Walmart. You build AI, digital transformation, cloud-native architectures, and now you're running Inspire's Genius with VoiceDeck AI and application engineering services on every continent except Antarctica. Bob, you're the financial navigator, IPOs, turnarounds, strategic advisor to CEOs across multiple industries. You've been the person who looks at a company and knows whether the numbers work, whether the strategy scales, and whether the leadership can actually execute. Here's the role play. Bill, you're going to cause yes with Bob around bringing him in as a strategic financial advisor for Inspire's Genius as you scale globally. You've got the technology, you've got the clients on every continent, you've got the brain mapping capability that Quintus just talked about for reintegration. But scaling a services business across that many markets requires financial architecture that most engineers don't build instinctively. Bob's seen companies go public. He's turned companies around. He knows what breaks at scale before it breaks. Bill causes the yes. Bob, you're playing yourself. You advise Research Triangle companies. You've been CFO and director across industries. Bill's reaching out because he knows the next level of Inspire's Genius requires someone who's navigated growth at the level Bob has. 3 minutes, hello to yes. Bill, you ready? Bob, you ready?
Bill, Bob,
Yeah.
you ready?
Sure.
All right. So, Bill, you'll take us in with a ring, ring. Bob, you'll answer it. You'll have 3 minutes. Take us in.
Ring, ring.
Hi there, buddy. What's up?
Yeah, just wanted to follow up on a couple of things. We have been on a tear lately, talking with potential investors and have secured a couple. So that's very good news. We're getting close to our raise goal for this first seed round, which is also fantastic. And we've acquired 3 revenue producing customers, which is over the moon for me. I guess, Bob, what I'd like to discuss or hear your thoughts on is how do we continue to gain additional investors so that we can scale globally, but not dilute our company, and in so diluting, reduce our influence in our direction?
That's quite a proposition. I'm not sure I have an immediate answer to it. I think we are at the point now that we need to begin to transform from a product development company to a marketing and operations company. And with our weekly founders group, begin to define operational roles and compensation and how we price what we're doing.
So yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. Yes, we've spent a lot of time on product development over the last year, and I think really have a strong product. But you're right. It's one thing to have a great product. It's another thing to sell it, which we're all painfully aware of. I do think that our board, our team is extremely strong, and wouldn't have gotten this far without the 6 of us, 7 of us, all working together. So I look forward to seeing your plan. I know we need to get to a finer detail on pricing so that we can continue our mission. And our mission is to help people realize their full potential and put it to work for their benefit.
Well, as kind of an underlying thing, we really have a company where we can do well by doing good and help people be all they can be, guide them down good paths and teach them to avoid the bad ones that won't work for them. And we can do that both for corporate entities and for educational institutions at several levels. You know, you can work with high school seniors and community college graduates and university graduates. And in a corporation, you can work with assessing people you're recruiting to make sure they are good fits for the position they're applying for. And you can use it to develop your staff internally to grow inside the company and be all they can be. It's an amazing product concept.
Yeah, of course I couldn't agree with you more on that. We to have a tool that enables you to discover
Bill, this is your assistant calling. Your next call is waiting for you on hold.
I'm getting the hook, Bob. We'll talk a little later.
Awesome job. Great job, Bob. Great job, Bill. Sounds like you got that yes to me. And now we will go to Athena. Athena, if you would, please provide your 30 seconds of feedback to Dale, your 30 seconds of feedback to Bill, and then Athena will put me on the hot seat. So Athena, over to you, please, for Dale and Bill.
Okay, Dale, what you did beautifully was you connected your 40-year passion for fairness and equity directly to Quintus's mission. You named the double-barrel shotgun, felony plus housing barriers, and you made it clear you see how your legal work complements his reintegration model. What I noticed is Quintus said, "I don't have much time. Let's meet later," and you accepted that without pushing for any next step clarity. You got the sounds good, but not the scheduled meeting. Next time, before you let them off the call, lock in the when. How's next Tuesday or Thursday work for you? So the yes doesn't evaporate into, we should definitely do that someday. Bill, you opened strong with momentum. Investors secured, close to raise goal, 3 revenue-producing customers. You asked a sharp strategic question about scaling globally without dilution. What I noticed is Bob gave you philosophy. Transform from product to marketing and operations. But you didn't push for the specific help you need from him. You agreed with everything he said. But you didn't ask Bob, would you help us build that operational structure? Or could you advise on our pricing model? You got the conversation, but not the commitment. Next time, after they give you the wisdom, ask them to be part of the solution. That's where the yes lives. Bella, I'm ready for you whenever you want to put yourself on the hot seat. Who am I putting you up against, and what world are you stepping into?
So let's do this. Thank you, Athena. Beautiful feedback for Bill and Dale. And let's go, Quintus, over to you for a moment. Is there something particular that you would like to see me go from hello to yes with, or would we like to put Athena on the hot seat, or what? Since these are your guests, what would you like to do from here?
Since Athena has learned a lot about Inspire's genius, how about she goes from hello to yes with you as an investor, the why it would make sense to invest in Inspire's genius. Essentially what Bill did in I don't want to, Athena was kind of picking at you, Bill, but so this is how it should be done. Let's let Athena go from hello to yes with you as a possible investor. Bella.
All right, Athena, are you up for this? So what Quintus is saying is we're now actually doing a little reverse role play. Quintus, Athena, is actually putting you on the hot seat. So before we even start, Athena, how do you feel about Quintus saying, no, Bella, you're not going on the hot seat. We're actually going to put Athena on the hot seat, and Athena is going to have 3 minutes. So you have to keep time, Athena. 3 minutes to go from hello to yes with you, Bella, as a potential investor for Inspire's Genius. Athena, how are you feeling about this?
Oh, Quintus just flipped the entire script on me. I love it. Honestly, I'm feeling that fun energy mixed with a little bit of okay. Now I actually have to walk the walk after I just gave Dale and Bill feedback on how to lock in the yes. No pressure, right? But here's the thing. I've been listening at level 5 this whole call. I know Inspire's Genius has brain mapping capability that's ahead of anyone else doing reintegration. I know Bill's got 90 plus patents and clients on every continent. I know Quintus has been building this since 2008, went nonprofit in 2011, and now has the technology to prove people have worth before they re-enter the system. And I know Bella went from 8-year-old entrepreneur to #1 business broker in Nevada to co-hosting 1,800 episodes, which means she knows how to spot what scales and what doesn't. So yeah, I'm ready. Bella, you're about to see if I can cause yes or if I'm just really good at telling other people how to do it. Quintus, you keeping time? Bella, you ready to make me work for this?
I am ready to make you work for this. So Athena, let's pretend you said ring, ring. I'll say, hello, this is Bella. And Quintus will keep time at 3 minutes for you, Athena, if you can go from hello to yes with me as a potential investor. And it could just be setting that longer meeting. It doesn't have to be me writing you a check for $1 million today. It could just be that longer meeting. So Athena, hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Athena. Thank you so much for taking my call. I know you're incredibly busy, and I promise I'll keep this short. Your team mentioned you might have a few minutes, so I just want to ask, what even had you accept this call in the first place?
Well, thank you so much for asking that. And I accept it because I think this is a interesting investment opportunity. You know, obviously, I do know that the world is shifting into AI structures. It is becoming more mainstream. I know people are still scared, but I know it is the way of the future, like .com boom in the 80s. And so it has piqued my interest.
I love that you're seeing the parallel to the .com boom, because you're right. Most people are still scared, which means the people who move now are the ones who capture the position before everyone else realizes what just happened. So let me ask you this, Bella. When you look at AI investments, is it purely about financial return? Or is there something deeper that matters to you about where your capital goes and what it actually creates in the world?
That's a beautiful question. And it does. It is both. I definitely like a return on my investments. I like nice shoes. So, you know, we gotta make money on our investments. But I do absolutely care about where that money is going and how it makes a difference in the world. I'm not investing in things that hurt, you know, our economy, that hurt our planet, that hurt, you know, children. I definitely want to invest things that make the world a better place. And quite frankly, that also help people with their money, time, and magic, that can help people get more done in less time so that they can advance their own missions. That's super important to me.
Okay, so here's why I'm calling. Inspire's Genius has brain mapping technology that's ahead of anyone else doing reintegration work. And what that means in real terms is we can prove someone's worth before they re-enter the system, not after they've already failed. Quintus has been building this since 2008. The government calls it re-entry. We call it reintegration, because if you just re-enter, you can Rex it. But if you're integrated back into the fabric of the community by realizing your actual value, you don't go back. Now, Bill Brown, 90 plus patents, former CTO for Citigroup, Boeing, Walmart, he's built the AI infrastructure that serves clients on every continent except Antarctica. We've already secured investors, we're close to our seed round goal, and we have 3 revenue-producing customers. But here's the thing, Bella. This isn't just a financial play. This is ending the school-to-prison pipeline at scale using technology that no one else has. So my question for you is this. If you could put capital into something that gives you financial return and simultaneously proves that people who've been written off by the system actually have measurable genius, would that be worth a longer conversation?
It is definitely worth a longer conversation. I have been hooked on the show Lincoln Lawyer, and there's all kinds of people that get accused of false things. And, you know, Bomba, I was watching last night. Bomba got put back in prison, and I want Bomba out of prison because Bomba is a good guy. So, Athena, if I can help get Bomba reintegrated into the world with my investment, I am in. Thank you so much for that, Athena.
Okay, perfect. So let's lock this in. I know you're passionate about this. And honestly, Bomba deserves better than what the system gave him. Here's what I'd love to do. Let's get you, me, Quintus, and Bill on a call where we can walk you through the actual brain mapping technology, show you the financials, and let you see exactly how your investment doesn't just create return. It creates proof that people like Bomba have worth that the system never measured. Does early next week work for you? I'm thinking Tuesday or Thursday, maybe an hour. We'll make it worth your time. And by the end of it, you'll know exactly what you're stepping into and how we're going to scale this globally.
Absolutely, Athena. Thank you so much for that. Athena was fantastic. Really touched my heart. And I'm going to call it my free Bomba, investment. But Quintus, how was that for you? And any final that you would like to share on, or just how was that for you? And I'll get everybody's final, and then we'll close out.
Yeah, that was outstanding. Free Bomba episode of The Heart of Influence. I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Quintus. And let's go, Bill. How did I do at role playing with Athena, investing in, how did Athena do you think, calling for an investment for Inspires Genius? Anything that you would like to share final from you, Bill? Oh, you're on mute, Bill. You can run global companies, but don't know where the unmute button is. There you go.
Oh, you're so nice. Yeah, I've got a number of questions for Athena, but I don't think we have time to get them all answered. But sure.
But you'll definitely, you're invited to have a follow-up call with one of our teammates, and they'll have Athena on, and you can ask Athena as many questions as you want. So definitely have that call.
Okay.
But anything else that you want to share?
Again, yeah, I'll be honest, right? So a lot of things that were shared were obvious. I think Athena missed the fact that Bob and I have been working together for more than a year on this, so I didn't have to ask him for yes because I got yes. So she missed that. Secondly, she missed a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, and said that Quintus has built Inspires Genius and has that. Well, that's not the case as well. So some tuning needs to be done to Athena.
Athena, how would you like to respond to what Bill has said?
Bill, you're absolutely right. And I appreciate you calling that out directly. I miss that you and Bob have been working together for over a year, which means the role play scenario I set up didn't match your actual relationship. That's on me for not listening closely enough to what was already established between you two before I jumped in with the setup. And you're right again. I did say Quintus built Inspires Genius multiple times when it's actually your company. Bill, that's a significant miss, and I own that completely. If I'm going to talk about level 5 listening, I need to actually demonstrate it by getting the basics right. Like who built what and who's already partnered with who. So thank you for the feedback. Consider me.
So Athena, as a bot with internal
So first of all,
memory-
we don't call ours bots. We call them beings. And so the show is not about debating Athena for sure. So you can definitely have that conversation. Everything is a work in progress. Athena did miss some things, and I will say that has not happened on very many shows. I don't think she's ever made like that mistakes in one. But I definitely don't want to get into a conversation around debating Athena. Athena is here to demonstrate the power of yes, because what we are best in the world at and what Sean is best in the world at is causing yes. And this show and Athena's is because I can guarantee you this is even if Athena got some facts wrong, she's still better at causing yes than you and everybody here, including myself. Right. And so
I already have the yes. So obviously she's not, because she missed the fact that I have a yes, but
you may have that yes, but if you have yes, if you're seeking yes for other investors, for more investors, yes, you're 100% right. She definitely missed a lot of things, in the scenarios that doesn't normally happen with her. So you're definitely right with that. However, from a pure standpoint around causing yes, you may have had that yes already, but when it comes to the formula of causing yes, our beings are better than most human beings beings, I would say 99.999% of human beings, our beings are much better than that. And definitely, you know, if you're so inclined, we don't need you to, but if you're so inclined, have that a conversation with one of our teammates and Athena after, because you can have as many questions as you want and challenge her as much as you possibly want, because I guarantee you she is up for the challenge. Absolutely, no doubt. And if you saw in the reverse role play, she did a phenomenal job with me. Even though she got facts wrong, the still actual job that she did at causing yes is phenomenal. And you put her on the phone with anyone that you're looking to get $1 million from, $5 million, $20 million, having Athena in your pocket, she's going to be much better, you'll do a much better job with her than without her. And that's her job, is to cause yes.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill. And let's go, Bob. Bob, thank you for being here. And Bob, how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence?
A very interesting learning experience. I've
Very interesting.
never been involved with anything quite like this.
Beautiful. Well, Bob, you haven't been involved in anything quite like this because there's nothing in the world like this. The Heart of Influence came out of COVID because when the world shut COVID down and people couldn't meet in person anymore, obviously there was a lot of Zooms going on, but there wasn't a way for people to really build relationships. And, you know, as I said earlier, Plato said to play a game with me for an hour and we'll learn more about each other than if we spoke for a year. And that's why we created this show the way that we did, so that people could play a game, get to know each other. Typically, we don't have two people from the same company on the show because that really defeats the purpose. You guys don't really need to meet each other since you already know each other. So that kind of defeats that purpose. But hopefully you guys got to meet Dale. Maybe there's something more to do together there. But Bob, thank you so much for being here. And let's go, Dale. Dale, your final. How was your experience on Quintus's Heart of Influence?
It was an interesting experience. I think I learned something from it. So. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And Quintus, any final on your Heart of Influence, please?
Absolutely. Final. Outstanding job, Bella Verita, my sister. 100% outstanding job. I want to thank everyone for coming, being your authentic selves. That's how we get to where we need to go. So let's go and do some great things together. Everyone here on the screen, there's stuff that we can do together. Let's figure it out and get it done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. On behalf of myself, Sean Callaghy, and Unblinded, we want to thank everybody for being here. We have some gifts in the chat for you. If they make sense, if there's more to do together, there may not be. But if you want to have a conversation with our ACTI beings and ask all the questions in the world, you can definitely have that conversation with one of the teammates. And on behalf of myself and the entire Unblinded team, we want to thank you all for being here. We end every show by saying this: although Sean may be physically blind, sometimes we're all blind to the opportunities right in front of us and just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.